have. And Akali's not like straight dive, but you know, she is very highly mobile. The lockdown that Twisted Fate has means that if she does decide to go in and Twisted Fate's in position to actually gold card her, then you're often not going to get out because there's a lot of burst damage in this comp. You know, with Lux's ultimate, like sometimes you can get people low enough to get those happening.
Their comp is definitely like, we're going to try to isolate one person out of position and blow them up.
Yeah.
And try to snowball that and get resets. But I think if T1 play as a team and they keep their distance, I think you can just poke out the Viego, poke out the Senna, the Akali before the fight even gets going. So huge chunks out of your enemy laners. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. So good job so far from Teddy and Keria lining up the angles to get that poke.
This lane is not quite the beast that like Caitlyn Lux was in the past or anything like that either, but you do have a lot of poke and you are going to be able to consistently trade against an Ezreal here with your E as Lux. Like you can't miss that really, as Keria is going to go very
He's igniting. I mean, they're going for the kill, and there it is, first blood. 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Keria says, get out of my lane.
Well,
actually, you know, missing farm while he was doing this.
Yep.
And he might not even get the scuttle with the priority from top lane.
Yeah, Blank's over here.
Faker has no idea. They have zero idea that Doran is here.
Yikes.
This was not communicated. Nobody knew on the side of T1.
As Keria is often want to do. Okay, this is not a great place to be.
Harp is going to get ignited again, and the binding is going to miss. Harp is going to have to flash here, but he's still absolutely dead. The TP comes in. Cuz is here. And Doran is going to have to back away as he's even going to get rooted down. And they're still trading here as Noah tries to push them away.
Doesn't have to do anything with flash as Keria's here.
Like this, the flash comes in and no Shroud here for Dove. He does have the equalizer as well, as easily Dove will be taken down. Really nice team play there from T1 because it also opens up the Rift Herald to push in and take this turret.
That's going to be a ton of extra gold coming through here. Blank's rotating over here with Harp to try to defend this, but a lot of it's going to hinge on the power that we're going to... I mean, a lot of it can be based on Lux hitting bindings, but no offense to Harp here, he's one of my new favorite players this season. He hasn't been so great with that so far.
This is what happens. I mean, Karma just dodges everything, and so does the Ezreal. Faker's going to come in here and clean up, as that'll be 2 kills. TP now looking for Teddy's going to land that, but the stun comes in, and Dove will be clean on the kill, picks that up. And will,
you know, you're not going to beat the Jace in the side lane either, so I mean, this is that ultimate right there is a state of the game.
Oh no, Rumble's here too. This is what we talked about in terms of target acquisition. You have 7 or 8 different ways to come from 3 different angles with this composition. You hop in with Faker and then the Rumble follow-up. That's a really basic one. We saw it there. And Harp is like trying desperately to keep his distance and farm his Lux, but even he can't do that.
Yeah, he can't. Like, he's just so desperate. He's using his ult on waves, you know, which Lux does oftentimes, but
I think that's going to be a short-lived plan. Just trying to farm out because he knows he can't do anything in a real fight. As they're trying to get on top of Doran, who's relatively tanky. And with the TP coming in here, maybe KT can get something on the back of this, as Keria and Kana are going to be caught out, although Keria is not going to get out. As here we go, follow-up coming on in. They're trying to get on top of Cuz as well, as he might be in a bit of trouble. You see Teddy trying to kite them out, but not quite able to. And this is a bit unfortunate for KT, or rather T1, that they have kind of bled a couple of members, but at the same time they get the Infernal. It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but this is the beginning of the crack starting to show, right? Like we've seen T1.
They're trying to get in here and steal it, but they will not, as Doran is not a jungler.
And T1 don't actually turn on him because they didn't have a whole lot of vision there. So they just decided we might as well back off, because what if KT's a little bit closer than we thought?
Now this CP...
a little bit questionable.
Okay, Kana's really fast, but Faker less fast. He does have his Zanyas and a flash, but he is just dead. A little bit greedy there to try to save that outer turret at this point in time. So a nice equalizer will come in. T1 thinking about going in, and that's going to be the kill, but immediately traded back. Jace is doing some insane damage, and now they don't want to get on in here, but Keria has other ideas. as he'll be able to acquire yet another target. There's another slow, as Teddy is just chunking even Volibears at this point in time. Doesn't have that much armor.
You hit your Akali combo, you can get a kill, yes, but you will never win the extended fight, not when everyone's grouped on T1. Their composition just isn't able to do that anymore. And this is just an absolute smashing right now for T1. They have total control over the game. They have the Baron buff here. They're going to push down this inhibitor. And with Dove respawning here, they can definitely look for more. 3 minutes until the Drake. It's, you know, if you're a KT fan right now, this game feels like from the draft you were a little bit worried. But it is just your worst nightmare. And you're hoping for a better draft in game 2.
Yeah, try to reset this one and pretend it didn't happen if you are a KT fan. But we'll see. I mean, the game isn't over, although it certainly does feel that way. We'll see if KT can get any picks. That's really the name of the game here. As now Teddy's kind of just going 1v4.
Yeah, worst case scenario is Dove to lose health because he needs to be full to actually get in and actually execute that combo and kill somebody. If he's at even, you know, 3/4 health, he might actually die before he gets that kill.
Yeah. It's just, again, I mean, you look at these compositions, even if it was even, like, you can't get near them as KT. Like, you're always going to be held at arm's length, and there's not really much you can do unless you find an engage, a hard angle.
Yeah, or somebody makes a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And now Dove he's cleaning up the base. This is a 4v5 fight that KT can't take. Doran's trying to flank.
And at this point, I don't think they even want to flip Barons. They're just going to go for the kills as somehow Blank will survive. Actually, TP does come in. Teddy a little bit overstepping his boundaries, but you can see that Senna just dies. Dove is trying his best, but at this point, buddy, it's a little bit too late. So that's going to be 3 kills. Teleports will come in, and T1 will look to end this game.
Very impressive, you know, adaptation here from T1 in the draft. Their draft ended up being a lot cleaner. They dealt with the Akali super well. She'll be 0-3 now.
Yeah.
In recent games.
And they're looking for more. Gary's going to be taken down by the Fountain, but his sacrifice is not in vain, as even the equalizer was available after all that. That's game number 1. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected. The Viego was never able to do anything. Dove found a couple of picks, but eventually you have target acquisition with the TF. I'm kind of surprised that Rumble didn't do that much damage, but by the end of it, it didn't really. People were.
I don't like this Twisted Fate pick that much. I don't think it has the same power versus a Diana. She's not as squishy. You know, she's not going to be as unhappy with getting stunned as she engaged into the fight. And oftentimes you won't be able to stun her before she hits her Moonfall. So even if you stun her there, she can use her Zonias afterwards or her stopwatch right afterwards and still survive, and then actually continue to do damage to set up these fights. And as we head into this game, you know, the Twisted Fate pick is not bad by any means. I was talking about the isolated matchup into like the Diana and team fights, but is going to be fine into a set. Is going to be great once Rapid Fire Cannon comes online, potentially picking Noah if he's out of position.
Yeah.
Let's crash down over here.
I do think specifically the Rapid Fire Cannon is like the most necessary item right now. As Cuz might be in a bit of trouble here.
But yeah, you know,
all right, trying to get on top here, and the burst might be enough. The follow-up is there, and the flash comes in for first blood. As Blank, he's going to go down to the turret, though.
So, yeah, this means that, you know, there's a lot of pressure right now on Dakana. He has to know this is potentially coming. He's reacting very slowly. He's greedily trying to get this last minion.
Oh, he actually moves in as well. I don't think that dash is going to save him here. Straight into the wall, and down will go Kana. Does not even flash.
That's some bad communication, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they saw the rotation in the jungle.
Like, this is the second time this has happened now. The last game was Faker, of course.
All right, trying to trade it back. The Devour will come in as Flash will be used as well, but Faker not really in position to get away. And the dive will be easily countered by the teleport from Doran.
Very well played here from Doran. Had a lot of extra advantages on the top side of the map. Doesn't feel bad about that teleport at all.
He's fine.
He'd be all right. Could have been even worse. Now, because of the timing of the back from Doran, they're actually able to group up here and grab this Drake. So, consolation prize here for T1. That was a little bit hopeful. If he had a shock blast there, maybe they could have actually made a play.
Uh-oh.
Still going to look for it, though.
He has flash because he didn't use it in the last one, but I think it's the same thing as the last gank, right? He's going to try to trade it on to Doran, but Dove tanks up all the damage. He's like, thank you very much. I will just smack you in the face now. And how about we get our Diana scaled up even more? It's kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, Torment and Anguish.
Yeah, Leandries, that's the big one.
Nobody ever said the last part. I think Riot's pretty aware of that.
Yeah. We also didn't see the item that much. Kana might just die, as actually it was a bait all the time, apparently, as a couple of shots will do it. Kana will be able to pick up the kill as well as get the teleport.
No way.
Here comes a rocket, and it will not land, as Lucian was nowhere near the lane, actually. Trying to get on top of Cuz now, but Tom Kent is a champion. Will it matter, though, as huge equalizer does come in, trying to trade it back, and it will be able to, as Keria gets so much value out of this Tom Kent.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to watch this one more time. This, you know, it felt like it was a bait, right, like you said. Doran actually just unable to escape here, does get gold carded. Pretty simple. Dove coming up there, unfortunately unable to do anything. This exchange was, you can't blame KT for this one, but Devour is pretty good, as we know. And, you know, the Rumble damage in this moment, plus Teddy just non-stop attacking people with 2 items, pretty strong.
Keria looks like he just got very out of position here. Not sure how that happened.
The vision, there's a control ward just to the north of the wards there, and there's one in the Dragon Pit, so.
Look at this again. I think they should know on time, but Cuz is trying to get the damage down, and he will be able to trade it 1-for-1 after all of that. Of course, a couple of assists will go the way of KT, as Faker teleports about 3 meters. See if they can keep it up. They have grouped up here around the Baron. I think it's because they've totally denied any vision around this objective. And they want to rotate. Okay, this is 3 guys getting on in there on top of Dove, and we'll see if they can actually kill the Set this time. A Set is going in. Will do a lot of damage, but eventually does go down with all of the control that T1 has.
Yeah, I mean, he can't buy enough time. We talked about how he's the best sponge to actually deal with these sorts of rotations, these sorts of group ups, but when the rest of the team is that far away, even with his showstopper, nice hit here, not going to be a kill though. Even with
oh boy.
Varus.
I mean, Teddy, and you see Cuz going to drop down that equalizer. They're just going to kill Harp. And now Blank is all alone on the bottom side, immediately gets exhausted. And Kana nearly dies. He will actually burn down, but it's still a 2-for-1 in favor of T1.
And T1 will be able to take this Drake, and, you know,
they have some pretty good damage with the Jinx Jace, even the Diana. As they're going to get in here, the equalizer is decent, but it's not going to deny them damage onto the Baron here. They have to engage. KT are baiting this red side Varus, not going to be enough to deny it, even though Blank does nearly go down. And now here comes the wraparound as they're looking for it. The wildcards come in, but they're just corralling KT up to the top side here.
It's just such a scary place for T1 to be, actually. You have to respect this comp. It can still team fight you.
They're coming up. Faker's going to get one, and now Cuz should be able to take down the Set up there. Although it is Set, nearly able to trade it back. But still, 2 kills here go the way of T1 over the Baron. And still, I think a lot of it is going to come down to how much damage Teddy can deal before the fight begins.
And who gets hit by that damage, right? Like, if Blank doesn't get hit by it, he can absolutely turn this around. He just needs to make sure he's exactly walking that fine line of, I need to be close enough to engage, but not so close and not so obvious that I'm going to get chipped away at by this Varus before the fight begins.
Lanes are good here for KT. You can see the pressure, T1's feeling it a little bit. They're trying to back off and thinking about clearing it, but they can't really because they can't give up the Infernal Soul here. That would be pretty disastrous.
Blanks starting to close the gap a little bit here.
Poke, already Dove is at half health.
Yep, he's set, so he'll get a lot of that back pretty quickly. But you can still see the damage coming through. But again, not on the best target here.
Oh.
Close.
A little bit, and okay, the equalizer a little bit late, but it's still going to go the way of Cuz as he's able to get the smite down, but here is that hard engage that comes in from the side of KT. But Kana able to cut it out. Teddy can't quite do the same, though. And now with no TK, no Tom Kent here to save them, T1 are just backing away. Cuz even going to use the stopwatch, try to buy a little bit of time.
Kana cannot turn this around. There's nothing he can do. He's just going to have to back off. Faker just barely escapes here.
He's trying to do it, but he immediately gets blasted. And now with no Lucian.
That's a massive mistake. Like, he considered it, and if he actually ends up sneaking in there and getting a few kills, then it's massive, right? Like, it's a high risk, high reward play, but the trade-off here, like you said, is you're actually going to maybe lose this game now. If anyone dies on this defense, it is over. We're going to a game 3. Faker.
Oh, no. Faker going to get hit by the zap.
I think that's it.
He gets slowed down. Tom Kent's not enough. He's trying to get in and kill the minions. He's going to kill one, but he can't kill the second. And with that, that's going to be the turrets going down, and the Nexus will follow KT. They win one big team fight on the Infernal Drake. And even though they do not get it, they will get them. But now that's going to swap, and now this will swap for T1.
Do they swap one more time? Like, whoo! Oh, actually, yes. Oh, this is the matchup
T1?
they want, maybe?
No, they swap back.
It's going to be a nightmare to catch up.
All right, well, let's see how it goes here, hopping into game number 3. Wasn't sure we would go the distance in this series after seeing game number 1. I thought T1 had showed up in a big way, and they really kind of abused their comp. Essentially, in that first game. They got way far ahead. But KT fight back. We finally do get it.
And here's what I was talking about. You know, sure, you have a ward for this, but might not be enough. You have to have a teleport answer.
Okay, Doran is waiting a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, you can just flash on in and get that stun down. The teleport from Faker is trying to absorb pressure, but it is not going to work out very well.
It's not going to give him any kills.
Oh, we got another fight here. Cuz getting a bit low, but they're looking to turn it onto Blank. But the Devour is there as Harp level 3 is able to save Blank from the bottom lane. And now the extended trade comes in, and KT will be able to push them away, force the flash from Cuz. But nobody dies because Harp is in position.
So I believe getting 2 flashes, Karia's flash and Cuz's flash here in this exchange. Dove hits 6 to push the wave. Just Faker, hold on.
He's got Carrion nearby, and here comes the equalizer as they're trying to get on top of Dove, and they will be able to. Blank now a little bit out of position, has to flash away. Curtain call will be thrown out here, but Harp is in position and denies any further action.
The Mountain Soul has been so strong.
All right, trying to get on here. He's going to get the Devour out, but now looking for the follow-up. As the flash will come in and deny any further engage. Faker is speeding around the map. He's got his roller skates on. Max would be proud. But yeah, the Karma enjoying the time. Is just going to use that TP though, and the Rift Herald fight looks like it might be flaring up here once again.
Bit of a flare up, as you say. The group up from T1 is so awkward right now because they're actually trying to back set up Wukong resetting. He has a teleport, but KT have so much control over this choke. Now, once again, T1 look to maybe push the mid lane. They think better of it. I don't know if you're going to get away with this twice, T1.
TP comes in. Noah's doing a nice amount of damage. Carrion, no flash, no ultimate, and Cuz just goes in and dies for free, not able to use his ultimate to even try to escape. Now the Rift Herald is going to leash again, and Teddy is just trying to assassinate on the Jhin. But now here comes the huge equalizer. The slow is making this very difficult for T1 to escape, and you can see the chase power of KT is also pretty nice. They're going to pick up another kill here. Speaking of chase power, Abyssal Voyage comes in, and it's looking like both of these T1's members should be going down. Denial on the Blast Cone, and that's going to be a 4-0 as KT are just taking off now.
Yeah, you know, there's been some talk about what's happening in comms for T1. Like I said, there's a lot of interviews. You can go look them up, you know, with the coaching staff.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Well, he doesn't have a Tom Kent, unfortunately.
Nope.
And Carrier will even be forced to flash away from that one.
I mean, not really any at all. They're going to have to hard engage if they wanted to contest this, and here we go.
Yeah, looks like they will try. Cuz still available here, looking for the flank. They're able to get on top of Dove, as he will go down, but Cuz, the jungler, is being burned, but still, as Rumble hits the deck, he's going to go down, and T1 are able to wipe the slate clean here with a triple kill to Faker, and now they'll go for the Baron.
This ends up being what happens. Faker respawns, he comes back in. T1 have a composition that if it can close the gap and get on top, of KT Rolster, there's a lot to be said in the composition, right? This is the Wukong power we were talking about earlier on. You have the ability to shield everybody and keep them all, healed up and actually give them a little bit of movement speed with this Karma pick, but when you get the Leona in on top, it's like, okay, you've done your job here, essentially. So we're going to go all the way back to watching the Prowler's call play, which was so fantastically done. You even see the Rumble commitment there, too. They're all on the same page. But once Keria gets in here, I mean, this is where things go really badly. Doran's at very low. Cuz comes in, too. And there's a lot of kind of wombo potential here, actually, for T1 themselves. And the AoE in this last moment for Kana is like, well... Very easy cleanup, sweeping it up. That's going to be a Baron for T1.
Turn onto him. He's moving away, actually, onto the wards.
Teddy's trying to slow that process.
Yeah, well, actually, let's try to go onto the front. And you can see how difficult it is for KT to actually engage. As here we go. That is a really nice ultimate onto Noah, as he has no flash, and he will just immediately go down. Keria gets low, but that is totally fine, as Dove will also bite the dust, and KT are being dominated down here on the bottom side of the river. Only Doran will survive, but he cannot do anything about this.
Doran Doran survives here, but KT, they just could not actually pick a target. They were so slow to do so. Okay. Teddy will die, and that's a nice bit of extra gold here, but...
We've got him isolated. Let us try to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, it's wait. Oh, Solar Flare. Okay.
This time around, though, the TP does come in, and the Devourer is in a good position, as Doran will get into that backline. He is quite tanky, but it does not seem to matter, as Dove is just going to get isolated, and so will Noah. KT have fallen apart, and T1 have immediately jumped on top of them. And they are pushing to try to end this game.
Yeah, Redemption going to make it even easier to make that happen. He tosses it down. They are pushing down the mid lane. Only defensive option here is a Renekton and a Tom Catch, so you just don't have the damage. We are 30 minutes into the game, and T1 are going to seal the deal here. Doran and Harp going to do what they can to delay, but the inevitable is crashing down upon them.
All right, Doran is going to get devoured. He is a Renekton, but it doesn't seem to matter. As nice stopwatch, but Cuz is going to be the one sacrifice. Another stopwatch will get the job done as they finally kill the Croc, and the Nexus will go down. T1 will take the 2-1 victory tonight as they do kill the final Nexus.
I voted for him. It took me a long time to decide, and I know he's had a lot of really rough performances as of late. A lot of people are calling for Zeus to actually be subbed in, but in this particular game, the late game team fights were kind of carried by him. The setup was there for his teammates, and then he hit the slam dunk.
Yeah.
The POG interview translation, and we have the winner of the Telecom War, T1, joined by Teddy Kana, the POGs. Congratulations! This is your second consecutive win. How are you feeling? It's a relief that we were able to win 2-1. I think we have to keep working hard. It's a big relief that we won. I think we have to, keep grinding. Teddy, your Ezreal is 3-0 so far, and that was the B1 card locked in by T1 in first game. Do you think that was stronger? That's stronger than Akali? Yeah, for T1, our team, I think Ezreal is on the top of the priority, so we just get to take it away whenever it's open. KT played Senna Lux bottom duo. What did the players discuss it? The Senna Lux bot duo. We didn't see it coming, but we were a bit flustered to see Senna Lux into Ezreal Karma, so we thought it's gonna be an easy game unless we get ganked. And we got a kill early on, so I think we had a very comfortable game. Game number 1, Teddy and Keria both won 6 POG votes. It was so even. Wasn't Keria a little bit sad about it? For game number 1, I think Keria actually, had full control of the laning phase. He was doing a wonderful job making calls, but bummer that I won because I was playing AD carry. And Kana, game number 2 was so close, but KT closed out the game. And game 3, T1 selected red side, and you took Xin Zhao and Wukong as the last pick. So also Renekton. So we countered at Wukong because it's not really that strong in the laning phase, but it can counter Renekton in the team fights. I mean, speaking of Renekton, this champion is not having a good time in the LCK so far. How do you rate this champion right now? Renekton has always been so good. I think this is still really strong. I don't know why this champion is having a low win rate. Will you also play Renekton in the future? Yes, of course. Game number 3, you were able to turn the entire game around that Baron team fight. Did you expect KT to go for that Baron play? I think KT kind of overstayed around that area, you know. That was not their tempo to try that Baron, so we were able to punish that play. What did you focus on the most when you were playing Wukong? Wukong is a great team fighter, so I was always looking for the angle to reach the backline in order to open more space for our damage carries. You will face off a Freaks in the upcoming Saturday. How we're going to prepare for that matchup? We will play and show less mistakes in that upcoming series. Our next matchup will be up against Africa Freaks. I think Doran is also a strong top laner, and also every other 9 teams in the LCK are so strong, so I think we have to keep our guards up and prepare hard. This will be the end of the interview from Teddy, Hana from T1, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you!